you feel it getting stronger. I know you can feel it getting stronger. And this energy that's out there, um, it's not going away. It's not going away. It will continue to grow in strength, and it will continue to be felt by us. We'll be able to feel it within our being because it is energy, and we are energy too. So can you feel it? Because it's getting stronger. Hello, Apple Brooks, honey. I am going to be showing footage today. I was laying in bed last night with my laptop, just relaxing, and I went over to the observatories in Hawaii, the Subaru telescope, and saw this thing. I like to say thing. This thing was sitting in the sky. And I went back to the beginning of where it started sitting, and it looked like a great big gigantic, this is what it looked like. It looked like a great big gigantic squid, a white squid with some tendrils at the end is what it looked like in Hawaii in the sky. And I thought, you know, that I kept trying to feel what it was because I felt it was like some type of a being. I really did, based on the shape of the cloud. But then I thought, is this like a Cthulhu thing? But it was white, long and white. It sat right there in the dead center in front of that observatory in the sky. It didn't move. And all of a sudden, while this was forming in the sky, I was thinking, is it ships inside of there? Because at one point I saw it look like a round thing attached and then another round thing on its side, like an oval, but then it completed one great big thing. And all of a sudden, these vapor-looking clouds started rolling in really fast. And it was so many of them. It went from a clear sky, it was in the morning time or something like that. It went from a clear blue sky to this. And as the vapor-like looking clouds came in, and they were coming in fast, you could see faces of beings in them. And I'm not just saying, I'm talking big, gigantic faces of beings in the clouds as they're rolling over, rolling through. Some of them seemed like they were attaching themselves to this thing that was stretched off across the sky. And it kept coming. They kept coming over and over. It was like nonstop. And those aren't normal clouds. They're not. The only way I can describe them is this like a vapor, like not a full heavy cloud, dense looking cloud. It was like a spiritual looking clouds that rode in from the observatories. And this thing is stretched itself across the whole entire area in front of those 3 telescopes, and it didn't move. It didn't move. At some points, it would fade. Parts of it would fade, like get a break in it, but then you could see other parts of it reaching out and pulling that back there and forming its one great big thing again, you all. It looked like a giant squid. It really did, with the tendrils at the bottom all closed together. But I was watching that, but as I was watching these vapor-looking things coming in, I started getting sick to my stomach. I did. I thought, this does not feel right, because I made myself stay awake. I got up out of my bed and I recorded it. I turned my computer on. I put the speed at two times the speed, and I did unattended recording, and I laid in my bed. I turned the monitor around looking at me so I could watch it the whole time. I wanted to catch it. I wanted to catch those things. There was something in the clouds, and they weren't normal clouds, something in the clouds that rode in. And it was very uncanny. It was very unsettling. And what was even more unsettling is that thing sitting in the sky right in front of the observatories. And I thought, well, is this like flying saucers or something up there? They were, at one point I thought, okay, this is bound to be some kind of ships, but who are in those ships? Who is in those ships? And they were cloaked in the clouds, they were. But at one point, when it broke apart, it kind of faded a tad bit, and then you could see it looked like ships, like long ships, like cloaked in the cloud, off to the side. But then they came back together and they formed that great big long thing, and it became very solid. But the clouds, they're not normal. There were entities. There were entities in these things that were rolling in. And I said, now what, is there a portal open? That's what I felt. Is there a portal open and demonic energy is coming through? That's what I felt too, because it didn't make me feel good staring at this thing in the sky, smack dead center, stretched out like a giant squid. And I don't know if it was a life form, but I didn't like the energy that was coming from it. I don't know if anybody made their way over to that footage at the sun covered slowly, the clouds split enough for you to barely record the sun rising. Yeah, there's something going on. And I heard CERN ramped up. It ramped up its thing even more, you all. Something for a week. The moon is powerful. Well, this is in the morning time at the observatory. And before the morning came, it looked really beautiful there. I was looking at the whiteness of the telescopes and the whiteness of the snow and the beautiful blue. It was a really blue night sky with some stars. It looked so serene. It really did. And then the sun started rising, and then you saw the round things that are up there in the sky around the sun. But as it went up, as it got to the top of the screen, that's when the first fast-moving, cloud-like vapor being thing came through. And I thought, now, wait a minute, that's coming in way too fast to be a cloud. It looks like some kind of spirit. It literally looked like a spirit coming through. Even at normal speed, it went just like that at normal speed, faster than a cloud. So that's when I said, I'm gonna rewind it. I'm gonna go back further because I want to see what's up there in the sky. There were so many faces in a giant video. I don't know what video what I did, you all, but I recorded that. I laid there and watched it for an hour and 15 minutes. And when I thought that whatever that was, it was something solid. It's something that is not a normal cloud, just sitting there, and it did not move all that time right there in front of that observatory. And it wasn't a big black ship either this time. It looked like a big giant squid with tendrils, but and then I thought, well, if it's UFOs, they can't be very big beings. But I'm sitting there thinking, wait a minute, Gina, you know how small the humans look when they're outside the observatories. The humans outside the observatories, the scientists, I don't want to fall off of here. The scientists look only this big. If my head was the observatory, the scientists are only this big, right here. They're only this big as my finger. So the observatories are big. And that thing in the sky, it was really long and it was really massive. It would kind of look like an oval, but it did. It reminded me of a squid. That's the type of energy that I felt off of it. I felt like that's when Cthulhu came into my mind, that type of a energy, or something is here. Something is here and it's growing in power. That's what's happening, and you can feel it. You know you can feel it. It's eerie. I saw a post this morning from a group I'm in. They were saying, is anyone else feeling this eerie energy? Any eerie energy coming in, you all? Any eerie energy, because it's unsettling is what it is. It's totally unsettling. And I'm going to speed that footage up today because I don't know if I want to. I don't think I want to let it. Well, you can look at a whole hour-long manifestation at 2 times the speed. I mean, we can look at that footage like that and see what happens because it is wild. If I speed it up, you won't see all the details. You'll just see a minute time lapse. But there's something going on. You wouldn't be able to see all the faces. You wouldn't be able to see the faces and things in there. It's like smoke. It's like smoke. You know, you have a very thin looking smoke. And, you know, you can see things coming up out of the smoke, like things manifesting in it. It's kind of what it felt like, but not a really thick one, but some kind of a spiritual thing coming through them. And if I was to go over here, I don't even know. I really don't know if I come over here and see what the observatories look like this morning. Let me see. So let me see if I can come over to this observatory right here, because I was over here looking at this. And I went to the interest. It's probably off of there by now. It probably is. But I want to go over there. I want to close that down. Let me see. It was this one right here. You see how beautiful the sky looks. But see what they're doing? See what they're doing to the observatories? So it's so clustered over, you can't see what's going on there. You can't see what's going on there. Something's going on in the darkness. It's really, something's going on there, you all. You may say, Gina, honey, it's just the snow. It's normal. No, what I saw in the sky was not normal by any stretch of the imagination. It was not normal at all. Look at down here. You see how fast these are going in? They had clouds like this. This is normal speed, but the clouds last night were coming in much faster than this, even at the normal speed. And when I see things like that, it's very unsettling because it really does truly. This ain't what I seen. I'll show you what I seen last night and where it was located. Oh, I got a picture of it. I took a screenshot, and that's why I went up there. And I thought, I'm going to take a screenshot, and I did. I'll show you how it kind of started off. It started off with something like this right here. I thought, okay, that's fine. You're starting off with something like that, and you got these up in the sky, and, you know, these move around. They really do. It started off like this, and then it faded away, and you see it was like 8:40 in the morning is what it did. But it's this thing. It was this thing right here. This is just one screenshot. You can see at the timestamp it was 9:56. I've got the time lapse from when it first started gathering together. And I'll tell you what it reminds me of right now while looking at it. I did a video on here. You can see these things right here, but you can see how it stretched itself out like that, like a layer of snakes. Remember, I did a footage on this channel, and I showed how in the sky there was these clouds in the sky. They look like layers of snakes. You remember that video? I uploaded it to the YouTube. They look like layers of snakes. It was north, south, east, or west. They were encircling the whole entire sky is what they were doing. Let me see if I can pull up that, because I think I did it as an upload. I'm not sure. Yes, I did, you all. I did. They did this right here. I'm going to click into it, but I'm going to make sure I mute this. I want you to, this is what it reminds me of, these type of entities when I get over to it. Okay, I'm going to show you. Let me just get, Gina, just get off of this. I got to try to get to it, you all. If I can show it, I'm trying to get over here. It reminded me of these entities right here. This is what it reminded me of because of the way they were stretched across the breadth of the sky. Look at them. This is what it was doing. It reminded me of this. Actually, I saw this in the sky, and I got a this was taken back, and I think it was 2019. They were layered like snakes in the sky, and this is what I saw at the observatory. It matches the feeling of that, except what was at the observatory, and I am going to do the time lapse today. I should just do the whole entire thing, but it started stretching out down here at first, and at one point it looked like a big giant squid. It did. So something's here. I haven't seen them in a long time. I really haven't. And I don't mean any disrespect, but last night, I really got an uncanny feeling staring up at that with those clouds that were rolling in because they did not feel natural at all. They didn't. They're not natural clouds. These are not natural. How can someone look at that and say, oh, Gina, honey, it's only clouds? It's only clouds. There's nothing to it. It's only clouds, Gina. Let me show you this in color. No, that's not only clouds. That looks scary. It does look scary. And I'm not trying to be fearful or anything, you all, but that's a very scary look. When you see something like that layered across the sky, I was going 65 southbound toward Louisville, Kentucky. I had just came over getting ready to go into Sellersburg, coming down off the little incline, and that was in the sky. Right like that. But last night, I was so concerned about this because it didn't move that I got up out of my bed and I turned my computer back on. You can see there's something up here at the top. Is that a head of something right there? There's something up there, but you can see this dark area at the top too, you all. We're going to see the time lapse today, but it reminded me of a big squid because it had these things and they look like tendrils just layered up on there like that. And I haven't got up there to do the whatever to the video, you all. There's an energy here. There is, and it's hard. It's a heavy energy, and you may be feeling anxiety and all of that stuff, you all. My lips are dry, but I don't care. It was a sight to see coming through. But last night, all that would have had to do was have like some grayish like stuff added to it, and it would look like those clouds that layered themselves like snakes. It really did. Everywhere I looked in the sky, I said, certainly this is not the only place. And as I turned and looked over to the east, then I looked to the west, then I looked behind me. Oh yeah, they were circled the whole entire sky. And I thought, well, is that ships inside of there? I tried to see if I could see the notched ships in there that I took pictures of with that one, but I couldn't. I thought I tried to stretch my mind to see it, but I couldn't see it. But it was like, I don't know, you all, but last night it got me out of the bed to record that. I said, no, because if I lay here and try to go to sleep and thinking, oh, I'm going to be able to get up in the morning and get that footage of the observatory, it's already going to be dropped off the frame and it's going to be gone and I'll never get it. So that's on my other computer up there. I should play it in its entirety as it's forming, you all. I shouldn't speed it up, because if I speed it up, you're not going to see the spiritual like aspects of it, of these vapor looking smoky clouds that come through so fast with it. They just don't feel right. And then you see the great big white smoky looking clouds. They are heavy, dense, and they come rolling in like a snowstorm. They do like a snowstorm while you have the other things at top. Then all of a sudden it stops just like that. But that thing stays right there in the center. You saw something, Vonda, honey? You started to see an octopus too? Lens of love? Didn't someone say that they saw octopuses in the sky? like squid-like beings in the sky. They saw them. If they're in the sky, how are they getting up there? How are they moving around? Really think about it. How are they moving around? The heavy frequencies, you all. And see, now we're already on another subject, but this is what I'm going to show today. It is, and I'm going to show this today. And when it forms, sometimes it's just sitting there. This whole thing's just sitting there, and there's not a cloud in the sky, but you see where it's sitting right there in front of that camera. Does anyone know? I think I forgot which direction. No, see, look, no. See, look at this. You see the arch there? It's a curvature right there. How can it be a curvature if there's not something round up there, you all, really? Because this arch looks bigger than that arch. Let me see something. Does anyone know which direction this telescope is pointed? Because I don't know which direction it's pointed in. I really don't know. And I would be curious as to know what direction it's pointed in. Let's see, look at that. Why is that showing up right there? See, why is it? There's something more to it. There really is. I really feel like something came in and it wasn't by itself. It was a lot of something because they kept coming and coming and coming and coming is what it felt like. And this, you see what I'm talking about? It looks like those snakes in the sky. It really does. And I don't want to be disrespectful, but it does have that appearance right there. Like the ones in the sky from this right here. That's what it reminds me of. But yet it's it doesn't seem like a normal occurring UFO. It doesn't. Thank you, Nierica. It doesn't feel like a normal one at all. But yet when you look at this, you think, well, Gina, honey, that could be like a, I don't know, like a UFO or something, or disc or something. But then I'm not sure. And then, what's that? Did it attach? Is that like a doorway right there, you all? Did it kind of attach itself to the top of the observatory? Did it? And are there like some kind of windows in here, like square windows right here? It's, I don't know. I really don't know, but it just felt eerie. It was these ones right here that were coming in. They were coming in so fast, and they were so kind of translucent, and you could see what looked like spirits inside of them, but they looked like a big octopus. It did. And I don't know why this is in the sky. I don't. And you know, they still have the cameras down at the observatory. You can't see the Canada, France, Hawaii telescope thing anymore. They don't let you see the time lapse of it. They don't. I'm going to try to type it in. Canada, France, Hawaii telescope. I want to take you to it. They stopped it. They stopped it all of a sudden on December the 7th, which was supposed to be, Alien Contact Day was December the 8th. Let's see if they put their, thing up so you could see the time lapse. See, look at this, December the 6th, January the 8th of these cloud cams right here. You don't even get a second. You used to get, this is what you used to get from these, you all. Right here, I'm going to show you. You used to get around a minute from each one of these, and they stopped everything, all of a sudden, everything. And on December the 6th, that was the end of it. And then when you come right here, now the portal is in the sky again. Unless, see, I can't tell if this is a new image or not because they're not going to tell nobody. We can't see we can't see it. Did somebody answer that question, what direction the Subaru telescope was facing? See, now if I come down here, there's some kind of a portal that opened up. If I come down here, see, you're not going to see it. They stopped it. They stopped it all. This is all you get. 8 seconds. 8 seconds from the cloud cam. When you normally would get, let's click it in, you all. And this really made me upset, and I still am not over it because they're hiding information. What you normally would get would be 48 seconds. It's been that way for months and months and months and months and years until all of a sudden it's no more. And it's when this portal in the sky or UFO in the sky, is when this thing started showing up. And that was, we was going, look there, December the 7th. No, that was it. So there's something going on and they don't want nobody to know what's going on. See, you're way up there. You're way up there in Hawaii. Nobody down below can see you because it's so high up, and you can hide your doings in the clouds. You can, you all. So the pollen is high. Yeah. Something's one of your favorite footage, Danny Lovett, the observatories. They're really pretty. They really are. Yeah. I'm sure somebody probably said what direction the Subaru telescope was facing. Do you know what direction the Subaru telescope is facing? I'm not going to push away from here right now until somebody can tell me. Is it facing the south sky? Because they're looking for something to come in the south sky. They really are. Yeah. So there's an energy, there's an eerie energy in the air. There is. You may feel anxiety, and you may feel like impending doom. Of course, you know, they got technology that can elicit those feelings in you. They do. They got the technology, the frequencies that can make you feel like something like that. They can, to add to it, is what they can do. Yeah, they do. But you're a spiritual being nonetheless, and you can feel the energy. You can feel the energy in it, you all. I know you can. And it's unsettling, and it's hard to focus. It really is hard to focus on living your life, but we've got to continue to live, you all. We do. We cannot let this energy, this ever encroaching darkness, what's out there, because it is a darkness. It seeks to put out our light. It really does. It doesn't like love's light on the inside of us. It doesn't. It doesn't want us to be happy. It wants us to be fearful. It wants us to give up, but we can't give up. We can't. Yeah. Try to see this. Good morning, you all. Since you moved to Florida, Miss Kimmy, you've seen 4 UFOs. They feed on our loosh. Yeah, no fear. Don't fear it, but you can feel it. You can feel their presence. Well, they feel our presence too. That's why they're here. They want to lower the frequency of the human race. They do. They want to lower it, but we can't let them. Yeah. So that was the observatories. It looked like a big squid in the sky, you all. That's what I'm feeling, the energy, and then looking at that last night, and I thought it looks like an entity in the sky, and I thought of Cthulhu. I really did. Never heard of Cthulhu in my life until starting this, but it did. It felt like the energy that came from there. And then if you think of Like, why did they do the Pirates of the Caribbean? How they had that thing that lived under the sea with the big old things hanging off its face. It is a very scary looking thing. New Hampshire tonight. You're tired of this. You want to feel normal. We all want to feel normal. Is it the moon, the full moon, the day of the full moon? Yeah. Um, so don't give up, you all. You don't have to give up. You don't. You don't have to roll over and say, okay, do to me what you want. No, you don't got to. I would encourage you to fight to the very end. Fight for your peace, for your right to exist. I would. That's right. Um, Otherwise, I'm not gonna say it, but yeah, that's right. You live by the sword, you'll die by the sword. If you go into captivity you will go. Yeah, you'll go. You just want to survive. You want to survive, and you want to make sure you got the strength to survive in whatever way you feel you have to. That's right. It's a full moon, and it's got some energy associated with it. And are there squid-like aliens? Octopuses in the sky, because people have seen them. They have. I am going to be going. I am, you all, but I'm going to share that footage today. If I just play it in its normal speed, you'll be able to see the normal speed that I recorded in it. It'll last maybe an hour long. That way, you can see it transform in the sky. That would probably be best, because you want to have as much evidence, you want to have as much documentation as possible when you're viewing something like that, so you can feel the energy, and so you can see how it manifests in the sky. So I'll be showing that later today sometime. I will. I might save it till the evening. You never know, but I am going to show it. And I don't want something to come in and try to keep me from showing it, but I wouldn't be surprised if something didn't happen like that. So with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello, from my heart to yours. Love you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. You all have a wonderful morning, afternoon, and I'll see you later, you all. Something's been ramped up, and we know CERN's got turned up, but there's something's came through. Something's like a big, gigantic portal has opened up, and it's not closed, is what it feels like. And this negative energy is just flowing in, and it's a bad energy. It really is. Have a wonderful